We tried to keep her as best we could in the house because she was happier. When in the end, we had to send her to her home. First thing she said when you walked to see her, "Can I come home now?" And that really affected. Sorry, but it did. And I think all families are the same. They want to do the best for their family. And we need to help them to do that. We've got to do it. It's no good trying to pretend that you haven't got to do it, because the money has not got to come in this end. And if you don't plan that properly, what goes out that end, you could really upset a lot of people. So you've got to manoeuvre things about. The technology, I mean, investing in different services in a different way doesn't mean reduction in services. It really doesn't. But it does mean that we provide differently. People then say, well, yeah, but you're changing the thresholds. Well, hang on, your demands of what you want are changing anyway. So all these things are changing. Some people, as you well know, don't like change at all. So whatever you do will be wrong. But what the focal point is that the people's lives are important. That's what we're saying. We're saying you as an individual, you, you're all important, including I. I think I'm important as well, come to that. But I am more important than you or anybody else. I think we're all on an even plane. And an even plane means that the service is there if you require it. If you don't require it and someone else do, we're all paid for the provision of it.
And I think some of the ways you're thinking that you'll be able to save money and, as you say, improve things for people is, in terms of care, I think you've been quite clear. You're hoping that people's sort of support networks, people's families, will kind of do some of the stuff that perhaps people might have expected the council to do previously. Is that your way of thinking?
Well, that's a similar. The way I would put it. How I would put it is enable families to stay closer together by helping them to stay closer together, rather than taking one out and putting them in the home. The one thing that really opened my eyes is when I saw people who are younger than me in a home because they got the onset of dementia. They haven't got full-blown dementia, where they can't remember where they are, but they got the onset of it. And the family, to maintain them in their houses or in their homes, was difficult. Well, I think that's where we should be able to step in to help them to prevent that.
And in terms of the savings you're going to make, when are we going to learn what the savings are going to be? When will the Norfolk public see what you're going to be doing to save the money you need to save?
Well, Norfolk futures is what we're talking about here. And as you know, I've already said this many, many times, but particularly during the election, I would have a programme and I will work it all out, and that will come out beginning of next year. That hasn't changed. It's in the development stage. The officers are working through, and our manifesto has been delivered. I promised that would happen. It is happening. The plan is being worked up. You will see it in the beginning of next year. The plan will be complete, and there it is. And that should have the figures and everything in there. You should be able to work through what we're doing. I always say this. Everything is subject to if something else happens. Always is. But the general direction is all about looking after people. All of us.
And I think you said earlier that in terms of the public, you're hoping they may not necessarily sort of see the pain, but you have said there's probably going to be some changes in terms of, staff who are employed by Norfolk County Council. Can you just expand a bit on what you mean by that?
Well, I've always said, you can drop off a cliff and you can sack people, dead easy. But there's a lot of people who retire and move from here, and you can do that without that affecting people. So it is possible to do this, and I want to do what I call glide to the right level, because with technology, I used robots in there. That's the truth. Where a factory used to have a load of people putting nuts and bolts and all that, now robots do it. So there's no people in there. I think there's an engine there. VW do an engine, there ain't even a person in the building. That's all done by robot, the whole thing, from a block. I don't even want to get to that, but the point is, the principle is, as technology come in, you don't need so many people. But I want to do glide rather than drop.